Wasn't there what Mahomes wanted. Pass. There he is, Valdez-Scantling. He dives, and he's in for the touchdown. I'll never forget what we saw him do in Minnesota. Rolled an ankle, looked like a high ankle sprain, came back and was a huge factor in the second half. And there's another catch by Kelsey. He's got one man to beat. Kelsey tackled down at the 5-yard line. Morrow prevents the touchdown. 54 yards on that pass play. To the end zone, and back to the end zone resides Rice with the touchdown. His third of his rookie season.
Just an outstanding job. I told you Rice is targeted as much as anybody on this team. Him and Kelsey tied, and that looks like it's another touchdown.
Here they come again. Not going to get away. For the second time in the mix, Omenihu making a play.
We talked about Mahomes' start to his career. Herbert's off to an incredible start as well. They just need more wins.
Oh, here's a big one, too. More yardage for Rice. Rice with Morrow dragging him down. That's going to go for about 38 yards.
You know, isn't really being in phase. The back end and the front end working together.
2nd and 5. Dancing around. On the run, and he's able to contort and throw down to the 11-yard line for number 11, Valdez-Scantling. 1st and goal. Take the handoff, pass in the middle. Kelsey's reaching for the goal line, and he's shoved across.
Oh, my gosh.
Still waiting for the signal. I think it's a touchdown. Now they're up with arms. Touchdown, Kansas City. Between a quarterback and a tight end. It's 27 consecutive completions. Pass intercepted, batted in the air by Omenihu, and the Chiefs come away with it. Converted the first downs.
3rd and 11. 3rd and 11 plus, Jim.
Yep.
Offense have gotten 8 out of 12. It should be like 2 or 1.
As Mahomes is running for it, and this is going to be another conversion. There it is.
You're going to have the option of him in the middle somewhere.
Fires it. Almost intercepted. Oh, boy, that was Mike Edwards who jumped it. Chargers without a first down on almost a full quarter of game time, 13 and a half minutes. Here's Scott punting to Hardman. On a day when Dante Hall entered the Ring of Honor, can he pay tribute to him? Here he goes. It's Hardman. Hardman to the 40 and out of bounds near the 30-yard line. It's Pacheco getting past the wave and finding the end zone for the touchdown.
And linebacker Murray, he gets out there and pushes Murray aside. Boom, we're good. That ball should have been snapped 3 seconds ago.
Again with traffic. Intercepted. It's Brian Cook to close out the game. The Chiefs defense is one of the big stories of this season in Kansas City.
I never know when to start. I hear the cheering and I start talking. Hey, welcome into this Victory Monday. We are live from Chicken and Pickle in North Kansas City.
Yes, indeed.
1761 or is it 1671? It's on North Burlington where it is.
Why are you looking at me?
Damn it. We're here for season 5 of the Red Hour, week 7. Sean Tyler, your host, along with the crew. Let's go ahead and get them announced. Cousin to my left, Darren Smith.
Yes, sir. I heard you was at the game yesterday. How'd you enjoy it?
I hated every minute of it.
Hey, how you know people ain't out to look for him? When you telling his whereabouts? What's wrong with you?
Hold on. Well,
that was
happened in the
yesterday.
past, so it doesn't matter.
We know you go to the games now, so
No.
we gotta look for it. We gonna be in the
No.
game.
You're the one.
I got drunk to one game yesterday, and that ain't gonna happen again. Yeah, it's like the first game I've gone to in like 6-7 years.
Wow.
Absolutely hate it.
They still won, so we're good.
Yeah, I mean, Damn, you just gonna put that on me? Get you, Ricky Bobby. To my far right, no. To my left, to my right, we got nephew Professor Wall Street, Steve Walls.
What's up?
Throwing bad juju on me like I'm gonna ruin the game or something yesterday.
I mean, I always
If
tell people
anything, I
do
might
what
have
you
helped.
did last week.
I might have helped on Tight Ends Day, National Tight Ends Day yesterday.
I
So,
mean, you did.
all right.
Jeez. This is
And
fired.
to his right, the world famous or infamous DJ Q, and you got a little sheen to your hair today. You,
A little bit.
yeah. She done
You
something
know.
special.
No, just conditioner.
Hanging out with little Blueface or whatever. What's his name?
Natural juices and berries. I don't know nothing about that
All right,
saga,
Juice and Berry.
and I stay away from that saga.
There's a
so
saga.
that's-
What is? Wait, what?
You said Blueface.
Oh, that's a thing.
Oh, okay.
Got him.
Yeah.
Oh, I said little Blueface. That's what I'm like. It's a thing.
Oh, I'm.
No, it's a
I'm
rapper.
Thinking
You know.
talking
Little
about-
Blueface is a rapper.
Blueface,
No.
I think.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. Don't say that too many times because then it'll end up in your algorithms.
Oh man, yeah, they be listening.
And,
Uh,
all the time.
Victory Monday today. The Chiefs yesterday 31, the Chargers 17, and nobody at the table saw that coming because Q didn't have them scoring 20 points. But you always say the Chiefs are going to score 57 points every week.
Yeah, he's every week he's 30 or 40
And I
points.
started to cut the my score prediction of 30. What did I say? 31-17.
31-14.
I said 17.
You said 31-14.
You
Man,
said
we talked about it
31-14.
yesterday.
I said 14?
Then you changed the
Yes, you did.
score.
Ah, okay. Well, the
Then
week
you
before I
changed
had
the
31-17.
Yeah.
I was closer than y'all.
No,
I didn't give a score
no.
prediction,
I
but
had 31.
Steve celebrates the almost.
Hold on, no. Hold on. Listen,
Moral
listen.
victories
Hold on,
over
hold on.
here, my brother.
Hold on. I just realized it. No, I think I had 31-24 last week.
You didn't. You didn't.
Yes, I did.
You didn't.
Yes, I did.
You
No.
didn't.
Pulled it because they were 5.5 point
Run the
favorites.
tape.
I'm about to mute his
They were,
mic.
hold on. They were 5.5 point favorites. I said they won't come. I was like, well, damn, they're gonna beat them by 7. So yeah, I did say 31.
I'm gonna load
24.
Brandy's almost
Yeah.
doesn't count.
Almost doesn't count, and it
Yeah.
definitely got to put that in there.
Yeah.
But famously, every week you're saying the Chiefs are going to score 47 points.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I pointed to
Well, you
him.
look-
I didn't
Don't
say
get
47 points. I never said 47.
Steve always has the Chiefs somewhere between 30 and 40 points.
Always.
and the opponent with 12.
And when they come out and score between 30 and 40, I'm good. That's all I'm saying.
When's the last time they scored 30?
Yesterday,
I'm talking about
I
before.
saw that
You're
one
only as
coming.
good as your last outing, Q.
I saw that one coming. So yesterday, National Tight Ends Day, Travis Kelce and the woman whose name we shall not mention was in attendance. My seats just happened to be below the box. So every time he did something, all the phones went up.
Oh,
So I had to zoom
really?
in on to see what she was doing and whatnot. And I guess Brittany was upset that her shine was gone. So she had to become friends with what's her name so she could be on TV again. So they had a little dance and
I
high
think they're
five
really
ritual.
friends. It's a good wholesome friendship.
So while we're muting microphones, go ahead and mute yours because you know that's some old boost.
I'm
great
gonna-
wholesome
see,
friendship.
now, I've never seen the movie Mean Girls, or is that a show?
It's a movie
It's
and a
a
show,
movie?
I think.
Either way, I'm gonna watch it now just to kind of get a sense of what's going on in that box.
You might as well stick with little Blueface.
At least you didn't have champagne poured on you.
So yeah, but nonetheless, the Chiefs experience, the tailgating was great. As always, and ran into a bunch of Chargers fans, and they were like super surprised at how hospitable the environment was to the opposition out there. They're taking pictures with the Chargers fans and doing all that kind of stuff. And the Chargers fans were like apprehensive, like, "Are you going to stab me if I get next to you to take this picture?"
Depends on what part of the parking lot you're in, too.
Were there any fights in the stadium yesterday?
It always just depends on the side. Like if
I was on both.
Okay.
I was on both, but of course, I ended up in Lot J, where all the real parties are.
Yeah.
So in
Oh,
tailgating, who had the best food and drink presentation?
I didn't eat, but they did force me to have a beverage or four.
They forced you.
Oh, absolutely.
They tied you down.
In one party I walked by, it was a big party in Lot J. They had sound system, 3 DJs,
Yeah,
and,
Lot
that's what
J
I'm
does it
saying.
nice,
And the
yeah.
guys running over, they're like,
Always.
"Oh, shot Tyler! Oh, here, come get the microphone." No,
Right.
I get paid for that.
Not on duty. Not on duty.
not today. But yesterday, beautiful day for football, and of course, the return of McCole Hardman. And
Yeah.
McCole Hardman actually got there and showed why he's back.
And I'm not gonna say too much, but I heard a few things, and I think what was missing from the locker room was that that swagger that McCole has.
So, and I will say this: I didn't know Travis Kelce and McCole Hardman were as close as they are.
Mm-hmm.
So Travis said this about McCole Hardman. He said McCole Hardman is the guy everybody wants around. He's friends with everyone on offense. He's friends with everyone on defense. He is they said his energy is incredible, and he brings that fun spirit and the cousin you want to come over to the house all the time. That's the energy he brought back to the locker room.
And that's what I was going to add is the energy piece. Like from the first time I had met him, just even on a happenstance, like his energy was good. And I think he even approached me on some like, who are you type thing.
He noticed the curls.
Yeah, that too. But like between like him and then like Tyron, there were a couple of guys that just have like a certain swag that the team does a really good job with. And they bring the fun to the locker room. And I think I said it last week. That's what they're missing is that like that fun piece.
The guy who is that fun piece now is Isaiah Pacheco. Okay. He's the energy guy. He's the glue guy. One person's having an event, he's there. Another person's having it. He's the guy. And I don't know if it's because he's so young, he doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Or it's just that's his personality. But I think it's just his personality. He's just the energy, like Energizer Bunny. He's just everywhere.
And I mean, some people just do have that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not only did we have the return of McCole Hardman, but Charles Omenihu returned yesterday from his 6-game suspension, and he even showed out yesterday. Had a really good day yesterday.
He did.
What was the suspension about?
PEDs. Performance enhancement. Yeah. But again, on National Tight Ends Day, Travis Kelce was 12 for 179 and a touchdown. Had a really good day yesterday.
He just loves playing them Chargers. 190 yards was his all time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't go back and do my research because I know this is the guy who's, working on his 7th or 8th year of a 1,000-yard season. So I know he racks them up.
He does. And I mean, games like that is where, he gets most of his yards.
So
Patrick throws him the ball all the time. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's going to happen.
He's the one guy when you throw it, he did have a drop yesterday.
He did on the sideline. I saw that.
Yeah, but you could throw it to the guy that's going to catch the ball.
Happens every now and again.
Yeah, and he gets super frustrated. You see it on his face, like that just ain't me. So throw it to me again. Let's do this again. Yeah,
it just shows the competitor. Even the times that he went down with the ankle or knee injury, he comes back in. It's like just shows the competitive nature of him. Even though they're winning, he still wants to make sure everything is 100.
And I will say this: yesterday, sitting as close as I was to the field when he got the big run, or the big reception, his biggest yard gain of the day. When he was coming out after the play, he walked very slowly back to the bench. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's showing every bit of that 34 right now, because there were times where he'd go right back in or he'd run to the sideline. But he did what he did, gave the referee the ball, got up and walked like he was walking to the car.
Is this one of those points in the season where you think he gets too distracted? And I mean, of course, all of the rumors are swirling about him buying a house. And yada, yada, yada.
I was going to say, you're talking about a guy who in a week's time was in Philadelphia with his brother watching
that's what I'm saying.
Baseball game and having to move for security reasons and practice and living life, and still did what he did yesterday. So I don't think distractions bother him.
Well, I'm not saying that in the immediate, but I'm saying in the long run, do you see that?
He's not built that way.
Yeah, I don't.
These Swifties have been sitting outside of this man's house since they found out about it, and
crazy.
But they're not. Some are doing it to see if she's coming over to the house, and some are doing it to see if he's cheating on her or if somebody else is coming to the house, and it's just a lot of weird stuff. And if you know the story of Selena, her number one fan is who killed her. Yeah, and these R&B singer fans are absolutely insane about their fandom.
So did you watch Swarm, the Netflix series?
I have not watched it.
Please watch it. Please watch it.
Yeah, someone keeps telling me that I need to watch it.
Please.
And this moment is brought to you by Netflix.
Well, and that's the thing too, because it's a mixture of like between the Beehive and then like the Barbs and it's a lot of like different references, and it's like cool to see.
All right, I'll check it out.
Before we move on, I do want to say that someone who had a big game yesterday for the first time and since the AFC Championship game was Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah, I was waiting on y'all to.
We was working our way down the list.
3 catches.
Darren likes to jump the gun, you know.
No, I mean, I don't really care about Swarm, so like it's a football show. So
no, we talk a little bit of everything, and right now, if they keep putting what's her name, whose name should not be mentioned on this show,
we could talk about
30% of the football game now. Like every time there's a catcher, he does something. They go right to the booth.
Well, we try to avoid talking about that even on the show. So.
And I had a bump in with Jim Nance.
I welcome
Saturday night.
I welcome that whole Swifty.
Of course you do.
Come on.
First of all,
okay.
The name should not be mentioned. She's just heard today.
When we talked offline, I'll make sure not to say that.
Hey, we are live from Chicken.
Aren't you Swifties?
All I can do is pray for him at this point. We are live from Chicken and Pickle in North Kansas City. We are the Red Hour. We're talking Chiefs football. Chiefs victory Monday. The Chiefs 31 over the Los Angeles Chargers 17. And we got a practice coming up as we get ready to head overseas to Germany. And we were talking, and as I was looking at the last of the remaining games on the Chiefs schedule, and I told Steve, I was like, we could honestly go 15-2 and maybe even 16-1 with this schedule. I only have a couple of bumps that bother me a little bit. And we'll talk about those bumps after we take our first breaks. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do that right now. If you want to, you can come down and join us live from Chicken and Pickle on this, the first day of Scorpio season. We're in North Kansas City. We are talking Chiefs football. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the other players. We'll talk about some injuries. We'll talk about some of these big games. We'll talk about the Chiefs schedule coming up and what that looks like for us as we try to make a repeat run at the Super Bowl. So you got it where you want it. Tell all your friends to like us on Facebook or on Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it nowadays.
It's still Twitter.
Steve, put that heart down.
Swifties.
Put that heart down.
Mama name him Twitter. I'm going to call him Twitter.
See what I'm saying? Mama named it Twitter. I'm going to call it Twitter. We'll be back in moments. We're the Red Hour.
It's that time.
Live from Chicken and Pickle. That all goes back to some R&B song. We're live from Chicken and Pickle. It's the Red Hour.
Facts.
We are talking Chiefs football. The Chiefs on this victory Monday, they defeated the Los Angeles Chargers 31-17 yesterday at GEHA Field at Arrowhead. Couple of notables injury-wise. Nick Bolton injured his wrist yesterday on a play and is going to be out for a couple of months because that injury requires surgery.
Oh, wow.
So he'll be back.
Would he break his wrist or what? Dislocated. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which
he said 2 months.
6 weeks.
2 months out.
Yeah,
so he'll be back for some postseason football.
Does that...
The good thing about it is there's no drop off because of Drew Tranquil.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, how far is a drop off?
There's not any. Drew Tranquil's been balling. He stepped right in. I mean, even when Nick was going through the ankle stuff, and he stepped right in and was balling. So
had another sack yesterday.
Yeah, so we're not going to miss anything. But we do want him to get better and be fully operational.
And Willie Gay's been playing well too.
Yeah, he had a good game yesterday.
Look, contract year is undefeated. You got to go and ball.
He was limping a little bit yesterday too.
Yeah, but I mean, if you see,
that's how he walks. He's got George Jefferson in it.
Okay.
Right. But no, if you saw the sack that he had, I mean,
for him or Nick,
it's a contract year for Willie Gay.
Okay. Well, I thought it was one of the others.
Yeah, no, that's Willie. But no, he's definitely having a great year, man. And you saw the sack that he had yesterday. Just look at his closeout speed on the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin Herbert's not slow, and he was just able to close out and get the sack. So I think Willie Gay has definitely been playing well. So
absolutely. And that was
so. Speaking of what's the issue with Justin Herbert?
Darren likes to say he's not elite. I would agree to a certain extent because he can't win the big game.
Yeah,
he's 27-28. Now
he can't win a big game.
If that was Dak Prescott, we'd be shooting bullets at him.
Well, no,
and come on, man.
Coaching means something. When you get drafted to it, coaching means a lot in this league.
All I will
Darren.
say is look at Stafford right now. Put him in the right situation, the right coaching, and the right pieces around him, and look what you have now.
I mean, that's
Justin Herbert. Are you saying he don't have the right pieces around him?
No, I'm saying that it might be coaching, and Herbert he's no different to me than Josh Allen and Joe Burrow.
He is Josh Allen. I told you that yesterday. Justin Herbert is Josh Allen. Because somebody else confirmed it. Like,
you got excited.
No, but look, he is Josh Allen.
Playoff game and got to the NFC Championship game. He lost to the Chiefs, but he still got there. This dude is 27-20.
So has Josh Allen. So has
he doesn't have. He doesn't have a losing record. Josh Allen has won his division.
Not until he got Stephon Diggs.
But he's still done it.
An all-pro wide receiver. Name an all-pro wide receiver on their roster right now. Not Keenan Allen.
Hold on, but he's a Pro Bowl. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. He's got Austin Eckler.
They're not all-pros this year, Darren. They're old.
Nobody's all-pro this year, Steve. The season's not even over with you.
Playing all-pro or making it to be all-pro. They're not. They're old.
Austin Eckler was an all-pro last year, if I'm correct, because he led the league in touchdowns.
Wide receiver, not running back.
Well, hold on, but he's still surrounded by talent. Is he not? He's got Khalil Mack, he got Joey Bosa on the other.
That's defense.
And again,
but he's surrounded by talent.
Wide receiver is what I'm talking about.
Well, why I say he's just like Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. You get all this.
Make an excuse for him. That's fine.
No excuses, but you make all this praise for these quarterbacks, and they're not doing anything to justify.
And I think that's a testament to like Patrick Mahomes and how like good he's been from such a young age, being his second year in the league, going to the Super Bowl type of thing. And I think a lot of the league wanted to make like the new rivalry. Like we always had the rivalry between like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Mm-hmm. And so they wanted to have like this equal to Patrick Mahomes. So it was always, it's either going to be Joe Burrow and Joe Burrow, we can give that, but they've always in the middle had this Joe Burrow, not Joe Burrow, but like Allen and this kid we're talking about. And I feel like they have the talent, but they just haven't done it in the games that they're supposed to do.
And he had two coaches.
But I was going to say, if you're going to say that, you have to look at
how many coaches has Josh Allen had?
You have to look at the caliber of quarterback that Patrick Mahomes is, because Patrick Mahomes,
it took him longer.
If he doesn't have the elements around him that everyone assumes that he needs, like when Tyreek Hill was gone, the whole world was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Patrick Mahomes finds a way to make what he has work. He adjusts his game. And when he's shuffling it around to 10, 12 different receivers, he's doing what he needs to do to win the game. And these quarterbacks, you give him those three weapons, I'm going to go to these three weapons. Yeah. And if I can't go to these three weapons, we're going to lose the game.
And Justin Herbert, I can't say he hasn't had the pieces, because, I mean, like, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams just alone are...
People actually had the Chargers winning this game yesterday. There were some people who thought that the Chargers would win this game.
The coach still comes into play, man.
There were experts before the season that had the Chargers win the Super Bowl. Herbert winning the MVP.
Who said that? Nobody.
You might not have said it.
I mean, I didn't see nobody say that this year. Last
coaching
year,
matters.
They were saying that at the sports book.
As much as right, you're gonna listen to that. But as much as you don't want to admit it, coaching matters. You know that.
And he said that before.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, he has said that
before. Okay. So in that sense, what makes it so different from Russell Wilson's coaching situation?
Come on, Steve.
Russell Wilson is
Russ is washed. Like I've been saying that from jump. Russ is washed.
Yeah. Nobody ain't got nothing to do with longer than me.
Now he's washed. Okay.
Who hasn't said that at this table except Q?
Hold on. All I'm saying is, no, hold on. See, look at the energy that you put towards Rush, but you ain't putting that same energy towards this dude who has a worse record.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh,
like
again, making it. That's what we
that's
call
not
making excuses.
that's not making an
Called making
excuse.
excuses, man.
The dude ain't. And I agreed with you. I said that he wasn't an elite quarterback
I know.
yet.
I didn't need. Well, I appreciate it, but I didn't need you to agree with me on that.
All right, you guys go to your rooms until you can come out and peacefully.
Sorry, why are you having this shit? And I ain't trying to throw him into this conversation, but he having this whole Drew Lock hate towards Justin Herbert. He really is. He's having a Drew Lock hate towards Justin Herbert.
You know how he feels about Drew Lock.
No, Darren does too.
Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do now is move on to the next topic. Justin Ross, Kansas City Chiefs player, has been booked and arrested this evening on burglary or what is it? Criminal property damage.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was domestic violence.
Well,
it's not yet.
We're assuming it's going to be
because
in my mind, the first thing I heard, he busted out his girlfriend's window
or his window.
Yeah. Shawnee Mission, Kansas, criminal charge.
And it's in Kansas.
Yeah.
He's under the jail.
Yeah, because how many suspension days did what's his name get
Willie
suspended
Gay?
for busting up a vacuum?
2 or 4.
2, I think.
And that was a vacuum.
A cell phone, I think.
Well, I mean that I think that was the watered down version.
4 games,
of course.
4 games
that we got.
Okay, yeah.
So yes,
personal conduct policy,
and also, I mean, this being in Kansas, I think they have a lot tougher domestic violence laws. So yeah,
and it may depend on what it is too, because I mean, if it's just what's worth $25,000 in a house.
Could it be a piece of art?
I mean, something.
Their paycheck's a little bit bigger than ours, so it just depends on what they.
Yeah. So I mean, if
you can have a really nice cell phone, or a really nice vacuum.
Let's just say it's $25,000. He broke it, whatever.
Or he could have took a bat or a golf club.
As long as he didn't put his hands on anybody, right?
Yeah,
like that's who we.
And this is developing. This is developing. So
that's $25,000 is a lot.
There's a lot of damage.
That sounds like he knows Meech Flannery.
And I don't know if that's the amount of the property or if that's the fine for the charge. So. We'll learn more about Justin Ross and his arrest in Shawnee in the coming days, because I'm sure they're not going to let him play Sunday.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, he appears before Judge
tomorrow.
But one thing about it is, since the Kareem Hunt incident with the Chiefs, they've been pretty consistent on disciplinary. I mean, you look at what happened with Frank Clark. Mm-hmm. You look at what happened with Willie Gay.
I mean, league wide.
Yeah. Just from the Chiefs' perspective, but
the Chiefs didn't do anything to Frank. I mean, that was a league thing. That took them well over a year for that.
But it could have released him.
But
I'm talking
also
just
had to
Kareem
wait
Hunt.
until they had all the facts before they acted on that.
Well, that's because they learned their lesson with Kareem Hunt versus just
exactly.
reacting because of the Tyreek Hill stuff too.
So I mean, I don't see them, just saying, all right, we're gonna wash our hands with you and release you, because teams will do that.
No, they'll wait and see how it plays out.
Well, and I think also,
as long as you said, it wasn't a physical.
Also, Kareem Hunt did teach them, because I don't think the Chiefs organization realized how much of a national scale team they were at the time, because it was so early in this dynasty run.
Even playing for the National Football League, you don't think they understood?
I mean, some team. I mean, you're saying that, but they also let that video sit out there for months and months and months, and didn't have an investigator take care of that. So they didn't.
I think that was more so the caliber of the player, because it was Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I mean that, but also, he lied to him, but also they didn't do their due diligence.
Yeah.
So,
and if you look at a Robert Kraft, he's already gonna have his hands on the surveillance tape.
Putting him on the jet and flying them to go see hookers. What are we doing?
Exactly.
I'd have been lying. It wasn't me.
But that's what I'm saying. The Patriots learned, and especially from Deflategate and all of that, they had to learn.
They knew they played for a national team.
I mean, they knew at that point, but clearly the Chiefs didn't understand that.
All right. So the Chiefs are taking on the Broncos in Denver this coming Sunday at 3:30.
Yeah, I don't think they lose in this game. I wanted them.
I think the league should just kind of sometimes look at the schedule when the teams are piss poor like that. Just go, we're not going to even show this game on TV. Just kind of.
I don't. You
fill that 3 hour block with
No,
of course not.
No way. No way. The Chiefs within themselves.
And the Chiefs will do something silly
team.
like play up to the caliber of the Denver Broncos, and the score will be 9-6.
They did beat the Packers yesterday.
They did. And I was going to say, we're going to go down this list of games yesterday that had me scratching my head.
Are we making that much about the Packers win?
I mean, but here's the thing.
Dude, the Bears beat up on the Raiders yesterday. Like, not one.
The Bears and the Raiders. So both of them at the bottom of their division.
But as much as y'all coin in the Detroit Lions, they got spanked yesterday out in Baltimore.
I mean, this was just a week.
And Buffalo got beat too by the Giants.
And
by the Patriots.
And the type of quarterback that they were playing.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room? Can we go to Indy for a second?
Let's go there. You driving?
The Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
I've told you about
Listen,
in that defense.
Hey, get the team. Them dark blue uniforms look hella good.
You like them?
Man, when I saw that helmet, I was like, oh, that is so dope. They should change their colors.
I thought they were going to make that like a color rush uniform.
Yeah, so because I wasn't even paying attention when I saw the game because I guess the Colts. I was like, what are they playing? It's like, oh, snap, those uniforms are the ball.
It looks too much like Duke, and I kind of hate it.
You know, like what's your beef with Duke?
Have you seen Duke's football team jerseys?
No, I haven't.
Trash.
Okay.
Trash.
Okay.
Sorry, Nike. I didn't say that. I love you, Nike.
Further down in the queue.
So before we take another break, I'm going to drop another game that was surprising yesterday because I'm going to point this one at you. Your team won. They beat up the Dolphins yesterday, 31-17. But you remember my questioning you last week? What was my question to you?
Well, no, I don't remember the question.
My question to you was, is this Dolphins team a serious team, and are they going to be dropping 40 burgers on just random teams? And he was like, oh, they're capable of doing that any given Sunday.
I mean, but you faced the Eagles team where the defense
showed up. It's her facing the Eagles.
No. The defense showed up. That's what I'm saying. The defense showed up.
Jalen Carter's pretty good.
I say that this Dolphins team has been beating up on mediocre squads.
I can give you that. Yeah.
So you can drop a 40, just like the Chiefs are capable of dropping 60 points next Sunday, but they're not going to do it. But the Dolphins, they've got a young coach. He's like, run it up.
And I haven't analyzed their schedule, but I mean, the Eagles came to play yesterday on prime time.
They had to because that L hurt.
Yes.
And speaking of hurt, Jalen Hurts is playing with an injury, and we don't know how serious this injury is because he played through it, but he did show back up on the field with a brace on. Yeah. And when they asked him about it, he avoided the conversation, and everyone else they asked about it absolutely avoided the conversation. So I don't know if it's one of those injuries where if he comes back and plays with this injury, if he gets hit the right way,
RG3 type.
You know what I'm saying?
We talked about MVP.
We're still waiting for Tua to get knocked out.
We talked about MVP conversation, last week, and AJ Brown, fifth straight game of over 100 yards.
AJ Brown has been balling.
137 yards yesterday.
I said it on the show Saturday. AJ Brown and Tyreek Hill are number 1, number 2 receivers in the league right now. And I don't know who's number 1 and who's number 2.
Really?
Y'all could argue that.
It's Tyreek.
Y'all could argue that up and down. You could say E. Yeah, you could say E because like Tyreek dropped a couple of like very important catches yesterday.
But then he made a dope.
You see that one? But that's what I'm saying. Like yes, that Dolphins team is capable of that. They just weren't able to string that along because. When that Tyreek Hill play happened, I'm like, oh, they done kind of figured out.
One thing that we learned about Tyreek Hill, though, is it's when you shut him down, he gets in his head about it.
Yeah.
You could see he was absolutely frustrated with himself, and his play went downhill immediately.
Yeah, I mean, because he's not used to being defeated.
No, so if that continues to happen, that just might be the key to victory for a lot of these teams.
11 receptions, 88 yards yesterday.
But he's one of those guys that always is like one touch away from game breaking,
or no touches away from crying on the sidelines. So I'm just saying, it happens. We're going to take another break right now. I want to remind you that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Ladies, do your due diligence, make your appointments, go get checked out. Fellas, breast cancer, men can get it too. I had an uncle who survived breast cancer. So definitely, if you are one of those guys who can go to your doctor and have that conversation, do so. Get tested because it could happen. So Breast Cancer Awareness Month going on right now. It's October. make it happen. We'll be back in moments. We're live from Chicken and Pickle in North Kansas City. We're talking Chiefs football. It's the Red Hour. Why you cut me off, man?
Because I knew you would pick it up right there.
All right, we're back. Chicken and Pickle. It's the Red Hour, talking some Chiefs football. Darren, Steve, DJ Q, and myself. As we invite you to come down, Monday Night Football will be on tonight. The 5-1 49ers will taking on the 2-4 Vikings. Upset in the making? Hell no. And this Thursday, you've got the Bucks taking on the Buffalo Bills. This ought to be an interesting game because the Buccaneers are at 500 with 3-3, and the Buffalo Bills are 4-3. So this game, because the Bucks, they've been playing some pretty decent ball every now and then. Got my guy at quarterback, and no one. Every time he played, everybody's like,
He's feisty.
he is.
I give him that.
He finds a way to make it happen. So that's Thursday Night Football. And tonight, if you want to come down, there's also baseball. The ALCS, Philly is losing to Arizona right now. About to let Arizona back in this thing. And then the NLCS.
Let's go Stros.
The Rangers and the Houston Astros playing a little bit later.
Game 7.
So I'm guessing you are all about the Houston Astros.
I am.
All right.
What makes you Astros fan?
Dusty Baker.
I like Jose Altuve.
I can give you that. Yeah.
So we can call it Dusty Altuve? You can't like them both. This Sunday, we are taking on the Denver Broncos at Mile High or Invesco, whatever they call the damn stadium now, putting us a week away from the big game in Germany. So this game absolutely means nothing to the Kansas City Chiefs, but this is a division game.
Yes.
It means a lot, I think, to the Chiefs. You still want to sweep them.
Okay, the Chiefs are 6-1, and the Broncos are what, 0-12 right now? What are we?
2-5.
What's the streak? 16?
16.
Yeah, you want to keep that streak alive.
I get that part, but again, you're about to play a very important game against the team that everyone's been waiting for the Chiefs to play. But they're doing it in Germany, which some people are upset about. But we are still going to play Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins. Do you sit some of your starters?
Oh no, not in this game. You better have a
week 7
a bye week.
I didn't say all of them, or at least if the score gets run up, do you take them out?
Because here's the thing about this game: Denver is going to make you play a terrible game. Like they're not going to let you go out there and score 60. I mean, they want you to play bad.
It's going to be ugly, and I'm sure it'll be really.
They're playing each other like 2 weeks apart too.
Yeah, so we'll be back.
That helps.
What was their safety that got suspended yesterday?
That would be
it's stuff like that. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly why you play.
Yeah.
Jackson.
I mean, just stuff like that. Terrible hit. Stuff like that is the reason why.
And that's the reason why. I mean, because these guys are doing dumb stuff like that. You don't have risking one of these dumb players who's upset because we're going nowhere. We're in the cellar in the AFC West. And here you guys go again trying to get another championship.
Well, that's why he's suspended. But I mean, to be honest, I mean, at the end of the day, it's football. I mean, you can get hurt in practice. I mean, we shouldn't have
walking to the car.
Yeah. So no, I mean, they play. I mean, if you can build a lead, but we saw last year they had a 3 touchdown lead and gave it up before coming back to.
And when that one game when they did finally pull like Patrick out of the game, it was like 2 minutes left in the game. We're like, dude, what point are you proved? So you think we just go all in anyway?
Yeah, you got to. You got it.
Well, they're still number one, seated. So, I mean, you want to win every game you can because you need that home field advantage. So, you're definitely playing.
Because this puts us at the halfway point in the season, too. So.
It does. And here's the thing about Denver. You get a guy like Russell Wilson who's Mr. Positive. He's still, I guarantee you, he's still in that locker room like, hey, guys, we can turn this around.
From what we understand, he's not going to the locker room saying anything to those guys.
And you almost have to. It's like,
they got to make an appointment with him.
Look, he sent a text message to the receivers like, hey, have your people call my people. I want to let you guys know that we want you to have a really good
Russ, game. Are you in there? Are we going to win this week?
Yeah.
Russ probably sits like, he probably has an assistant that sits like fortune cookies in everybody's locker, and everybody has their own affirmation.
Yeah, this is Judy. Yes.
I know he doesn't have it no more, right?
No, it's Russell Wilson. Yes. Can I speak with him? Can I make an appointment?
I'm his wideout.
Like,
who are you? I'm his wideout. It's
sir,
me, Sherry.
He's not seeing anyone right now. You'll have to call back. Yeah. So
and then guys like that have something to prove too. Like Jerry Jeudy. I mean, the comments from Sneed Smith. I mean, he wants to play well, and if I'm him, I'm like, Russ, man, yo, give me the rock.
Because I mean, this is the last game before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So we trying to get on film here.
I mean, of course, I think anytime any of these players are stepping on the field, whether it's for your own team or for the outlook of where you're going next, but
what's the record? They're
2-5.
2-5.
Yep.
I think a lot of these teams are still going to be on that shock the world type of
just upsetting.
Yeah, but sometimes your cleats don't get to moving like they used to,
which is why I
the
said
ball
Russ
doesn't get out of your hands like
Russ is washed, man. He's washed. It just sometimes you gotta know when to hang.
When
up.
I saw them acquire Russ and all the money that they spent, I immediately was like, "Who is in the Denver front office making these decisions?"
I mean, on paper, it made sense.
And it's funny you say that because every week on paper, the Broncos look like they should win these games.
Yeah, and they don't.
No,
but that's but that's also because I mean you guys remember the 2015-16 teams here that just couldn't barely make it over the hump, that was really fighting, scratching to the end, and it just wasn't working out. Like,
I mean, as of last week, as bad as we talk about Russ, I mean his stats are, before they played, they were comparable to Mahomes.
Hold on. Last year, the whole team was terrible, but the offense was terrible and the defense was good. This year is literally it's the other way around. Russ has been playing well. The defense has been horrible.
He's got 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions.
And again, on paper stats, he'd be up at the top.
Patrick, 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. There's not much.
Yeah, he's just above him, just a little bit. I mean, Patrick had his best game yesterday.
Yep.
32 for 42,
that 400 yards.
424. Before that game, Russ was probably a little bit higher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Pat should have had 600 yesterday.
On paper, these Denver Broncos look great,
but he's still washed.
Oh, he's absolutely washed. But I don't.
So are they a couple of trades in around the offseason on defense?
Because they've got some money they need to make up, so I'm sure they're going to be getting rid of some people.
The problem is that there's talk of possibly cutting Russ or getting rid of it, but you're going to have such a huge dead cap situation because he's still got guaranteed money coming. So I'm not sure.
That's what I don't.
Russ going to be sitting at home still collecting checks.
Yeah, I think you bench him.
How many quarterbacks
cut
do we know that been in the league for 2 years and then been out and still collecting checks 25 years later?
Long time. Why would you bench him?
I would want his presence in the locker room or something.
You bench him. He ain't showing up.
No. I'm dead serious. I mean,
Russ is pity.
Why would you be benching him?
I wouldn't bench him. I'd move on. If you gonna have this fire sale And Russ has got.
I'm saying, I get that at the end of the season, but I think you talking about benching. I'm saying,
bench
And for
him
those
this
of
year?
you watching us online with your ear pods in, they're saying bench, BENCH.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna cut him and then eat all of that money, like, why don't you just keep him on the team? And
No way, not Russ.
no, okay.
Nah.
And would Russ even fall for that? I mean, he's
I
got
don't think he
an
would.
ego.
Russ is fine. I mean, because at the end of the day, like she said, he's gonna get paid regardless. You cut him or
He
not.
is.
You know, it's the guaranteed money he's already got, so they got to eat the dead.
Have you ever seen fire come from Russ? I don't think I've ever seen him excitable or the fire in him that made me believe that
like,
he
bro,
wanted
can you
to.
get mad?
When it was the,
Like,
the
get
Legion,
mad, get
when it
mad.
was the Legion of Boom teams, but I don't think
Steve, when you
I've,
look at that bank account, what do you got to get?
I don't think I've
What
seen.
do you got to get bad for?
I don't think I've seen Russ like be fired up.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
I don't know.
I've never seen it happen.
Sierra's been knocked up 3 times. I think he's
Well,
Oh my goodness! What?
I think he's got fired up.
I don't
before,
think he's
man.
been fired up. I think that's just the Merlot and the Drake records they're playing around the house at night. But as far as his football play goes, you see quarterbacks and you know that they're competitive. Like you see Patrick Mahomes when he makes a mistake or when he really wants to go in, he goes and he's yelling at his receivers or whatever. And he's getting everybody fired up. You can name 20 quarterbacks like that, but you've never seen Russell Wilson get excited. I mean, maybe that's the spark that's missing because he's out there playing.
Me to fire him up.
Yeah, because he is like the Chance the Rapper of quarterbacks. Like, he's just a little too positive.
Nah, man, he's the Mace of quarterbacks. Man, I ain't talking about the new Mace with Cameron. I'm talking about old Mace when he was a bad boy. Yeah, that Mace.
The preacher, man.
That's Russ.
Oh, man.
That's harsh, Steve.
I'm just saying that's Russ.
Chance the Rapper was safe. That's harsh.
I was going to call him Omarion, but you went right at Chance the Rapper. Like, gee, like there's an ice box where his heart used to be.
Yeah.
But this Broncos team, they're done. I mean, there's nothing they can do with the rest of their schedule that's going to even put them in a competitive
Well,
space.
they can always play the role of spoiler.
It can.
They can.
Well,
but
and that's what I'm thinking. I thought one of these games they would show up and be that.
are we
But,
still waiting?
I mean, they won yesterday, so I mean that's inspired ball.
I mean, they have the Chiefs, they have the Bills, Vikings, Browns,
That's a tough output.
Texans, Chargers, Lions, Patriots, Chargers,
Even
and
Bill
then Raiders.
Belichick won a game yesterday.
So I mean, they still got a
So
tough schedule.
who are the games that they won?
The 2 games that
The
they
two
won
games
yesterday.
they won at Bears and yesterday. Yep, they beat the Bears and then they won yesterday against the Packers.
Okay, Bears, Packers. Okay, NFC, North teams?
Yeah.
And
And they're about to go back to
the bottom of the barrel
Yeah.
teams, and then they probably have a chance to beat the Vikings. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but the Broncos could easily have been 4-3 too. I mean, because they lost by 1 to the Raiders, season
Commanders
opener,
too.
and lost
Commanders,
by 2 to
yeah.
Washington. So it's not like again, Russ has not been playing bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they just
So we talked about coaching. So we see what Russ looks like on paper. And I know we're not talking Chiefs right now, but we are playing this team on Sunday.
Yeah.
What do you think is that spark or that piece that's missing because Russ is doing it? What's the problem?
I think I said the defense, the defensive coach, which is a sign of Sean Payton. Sean Payton brought in Vance Joseph, and Joseph was, I forgot which team he coached last year, but they had the worst defense last year, and he brought him in, and now the Broncos have the worst defense this year. So I mean, I lay the blame at Sean Payton's feet at his feet.
I need to see some of these Broncos scores to see what they've been scoring because
I mean, not
defense-
they'll here lately. They make you just. I mean, you think about the Broncos and they played the
That's
Chiefs
Miami.
18-9 or 19-8. Sorry. Then they had the Packers 19-17, Jets 31-21, Bears 28-31. So at the beginning of the season, you have a 70-20, Commanders 33-35.
Yeah, outside of that Dolphin ass whooping though.
17-16, first game of the season.
I mean, look, the Chiefs. Look, we thought the Chiefs were going to blow them out the water, and they won 19-8.
Make you play bad. They make you play bad football.
But,
I mean,
we all
they
know the
make you play
Chiefs.
football.
The
I mean,
Chiefs
it's
only
bad-
play
it's
up to
bad
the
because
level
they
of their
didn't look
competition.
like
They're never going to
football.
go in and blow anybody out. That's just not how Andy Reid coaches.
I get it.
He lets them stay in just enough to give them some hope, and then he beats them by 3 or 6. That's what Andy Reid does.
I don't think it's a let in there. I I just don't think they're high powered as they used to be as a team.
Really?
I mean,
Still got 15 back there.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah, 15 better when they scored 19, huh? So.
But again, I mean, all last season, this Super Bowl winning Chiefs team,
They won in different ways.
they won in different ways, but 80% of their games were won by one score.
Yeah.
They only played up enough to beat their competition. That was it. That's all they wanted to do was win the game. They weren't there to be like the Dolphins. Let's see how high scoring we could be.
That's one thing Steven and I talk about. It's frustrating because you know how high powered they are and how high powered they can be. And then when you see an ugly game, you'd be like, what's going on? What the hell are you doing?
This Chiefs team, this is the most complete team that I've seen. Like where you get, because I mean, you look at the 90s, you had the defense that was balling. And then you look at this current, era with Patrick Mahomes, it's always been the offense. But now you got both sides of the ball that are playing good, and it's scary.
Well, the defense is playing good all season. It's the offense that's actually catching up to the defense.
And the offense, it's really not so much. I mean, we've seen Patrick make more mistakes than he ever has.
That's what I'm saying. They're not as high powered as they once were.
It's not so much that who he's throwing to, it's him. So he's either Brittany's pregnant again or something's going on at the house. That's because listen,
I ain't part of this conversation.
I'm just saying, you saw like first time we've really actually had a Britney sighting was at the game yesterday. That's because she had a little color purple routine with Taylor Swift.
She ain't messing up my credentials.
So maybe something's happening because
clearly there's something swirling the way Steve is, the way both of them are reacting. Something's going on.
I don't know anything. I just think Brittany and Taylor Swift's friendship is wholesome. I think Patrick is having a great time at home, and they're playing good football. We love you.
We're going to take our last break. And when we come back,
can we cut that short?
Man, when we come back, we're going to talk this game. We'll make our picks, and we'll talk a little bit more about Germany, which is a little bit more important. So we'll get there. Let's take one more break as we do it live from Chicken and Pickle in North Kansas City. It's the Red Hour. Back in moments. And we're back. Chicken and Pickle. We're here. It's the Red Hour talking some Chiefs football in this Victory Monday. The Chiefs, of course, took down the Los Angeles Chargers yesterday, 31-17. And we're facing the 2-5 Denver Broncos in Denver this Sunday afternoon at 3:30. So before we get to our picks and do all of that, the week following that game, we are on our way to Germany for a little Chiefs European football. Mm-hmm. So they're going right from whatever happens in the Mile High City to Germany. Do we know when the Dolphins are getting there? Because
they might get there earlier. I think when I talked to Mark Donnelly yesterday, he said they're going to get there early. So they'll probably leave on Tuesday.
Okay. So this game worries me, not because we're playing the Dolphins, because I think we can actually take on these Dolphins no problem. But when you're talking international flights and a different vibe, because this is a Chiefs home game in Germany. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a lot of chiefiness going on over there. But still, it's a very long flight. coming from Denver, Colorado.
They'll be
in Kansas City.
they'll be in
No,
Kansas City.
Follow me.
Okay.
High elevation, coming home, right overseas.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of stuff going on with your
Up
body
and
change
down,
there. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And then you're
Flu season,
you're
it's COVID season.
you're in a foreign environment. So there's a lot of factors to go into this game.
bed bugs.
Well, we're not in France.
They've made their way to Kansas City.
How you know?
I know some people that work in the hotel industry,
Oh,
and the
man.
flight attendants are pretty itchy. So,
Itching for a scratch.
Them ain't bed bugs, bro.
oh no, they're bed bugs.
Oh, because you know syphilis is on the rise in Kansas City. Just FYI.
I'm talking about cold and flu season.
All right. So this game, it's a pretty big deal. So, are you more concerned about the travel aspect of it, or do you think that this Dolphins team is going to be that much of a strong opponent for these Chiefs?
I will say that there could be something to the travel portion because we've seen teams that have played in the London games like Buffalo leaving that Thursday, getting there Friday, and then you're playing on Sunday, and and like the lethargicness of how they play. So that is, if there's any concern, that is my concern, that they're leaving that Thursday, getting there Friday, and then just playing on Sunday. Which we even talking to Justin yesterday, Justin Reed, he said that he's not used to leaving that late. Normally they would leave on a Monday to go over to London, so to give them and their family a little time to, a little sightsee, whatever. This is essentially, as they would like to call it, just a business trip for them, which is, just get there, practice on Friday, Saturday you rest up, and then Sunday's the game, and then they come right back. So.
And I think that's been Andy Reid's MO, though. I mean, you think about when they went to the Super Bowl. Even though it didn't end how they wanted it to, he wanted to make this during COVID. Like normally
That's what Tampa was.
Yeah, in Tampa, they left on that with Thursday and did pretty much the same thing. And I feel like that's what they're wanting to do, just make this a regular game. We're not going to make it too big because look, we're making it
but that was different because of COVID and all the other stuff. Because trust me, if they could do it all over again after what happened,
But I think this is one of those games where it's like, all right, media fans are going to make it bigger than what the game really is. Like they're going to make this a Super Bowl type environment, atmosphere over in Germany. And it's like, we're going to not be a part of that. We're just going to go over there, play the game and come back.
Which respectfully is kind of dumb because you're pushing to be, the brand ambassador for Germany and stuff, but then you don't want to do all the things that, come with it.
So 11.5-hour flight.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different than flying from here to Tampa.
Is that long?
Yeah.
And then you gotta talk about media and
they're only doing one media day, and that's gonna be Friday
after practice.
Yeah, which is pretty much they do it here already.
Yeah, so it's nothing different.
But again, 11.5-hour flight, a little different than flying to Tampa last minute.
You can sleep all day Saturday.
Hey, well, you're sleeping on the flight to get there anyway. So
they ain't riding on Spirit.
I get that, but
they putting their feet up.
Yeah. There's no queen size bed seats in these planes. I don't care how. They're not going to be that comfortable.
Oh, they'll be comfortable.
Okay. 11.5 hours.
Yeah,
it's a long time to be
playing dominoes. Some spades going.
All right.
I'm chilling on the plane.
I said, look, those Martin episodes get a little dry after.
you got. It's gonna be some different things.
Yeah. So so this game, does it worry you at all?
Me?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I'm interested to see how they play Tyreek Hill, because
playing the same way.
If you go off of just how other teams played the Chiefs when he was in Kansas City, I feel like you got to watch all those tapes. Tampa being the main one. It's like, all right, we're gonna see. Do we play cover 2 shell? Do we just try to rough him up like we did Justin Jefferson? I mean, how are you going to play him? And I feel like that's going to be the key.
Do y'all think they have the speed to keep up with the speed that the Dolphins have on offense?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I do. I mean, Trent McDuffie, he's not ranked a Pro Football Focus #1 corner in the league for nothing. I mean, he's been balling. You got L'Jarius Sneed that's been playing well.
And Sneed is going to probably be on Tyreek more anyway because he handles no more receiver. But to your point though, I mean,
you think one man is going to be enough?
No, I'm saying it'll be a thing. But he's pressing against us. It's not like he doesn't, like he's.
And they physical, like this defensive side of the ball, man. The corners are very physical. You got Justin Reed who's playing downhill, who wants to, hit you. And Brian Cook, he's playing well too. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a physical game.
And I think our main focus should be getting Tua on the ground. That would be a lot easier than, trying to chase down Tyreek.
But like we talked about yesterday with Charles he's going to be able to, because Tua's not that tall, he's going to be able to, lift them six arms up. And
the Chiefs have batted down more balls this season than any team in the NFL.
Yep. Yeah. You got 2 6'6" guys and Chris Jones and Charles Omenihu. And then there's no drop off when you go to the bench and have to bring in your backups. This is one of those teams where your backups are just as good as your starters at least on the defensive side of the ball.
And the good thing is on the defense side, they like to just send them in waves. So they'll have more fresh bodies on the field than the Dolphins will. So
all right. So the good news is
the biggest concern is going to be Raheem Mostert, that running back.
Yeah.
So
all right. The good news is we have another week to worry about this game.
Yep.
Bad news is we have another week to worry about this game. We have the Broncos in the interim. So we have to call this.
Don't
game.
look past this game though. That's all I'm saying. Just like you gotta play it like
it's a division game. Anything can happen in the division. Not these donkeys.
But it's not even the fact it's a division game. Is that they want to keep the number 1 seed. With Miami losing yesterday, granted they got a little grace rate, so they're not tied with them. So why would you put yourself in a position to lose that game and perhaps lose your seed and stuff? And knowing you got to face Miami the following week, and if you lose to them, that's a head-to-head position. So, Chiefs going all out this weekend.
And when you play them, and when you play Miami next week, I think that can be a seeding. That's going to be a seeding game.
It's gonna be number 1.
Whether you going to Miami or they coming here.
Because I think it's funny that the last game of the season against the Chargers, and they still haven't given that game a time yet.
That's for every game.
I know that, but usually when they did this charting, they, as they always say, the Chargers are going to be.
It's in LA.
The team to beat.
It's in LA.
In the AFC.
Chiefs going to play on Saturday as always.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
We'll see what happens there. But again, looking at the rest of this schedule, I say the Chiefs can easily go 15-2, at best 16-1.
Yeah. Now you did say you had a concern. Was there a particular team that you thought they would fall to?
This game in Germany coming back, even on the bye week, but the short time span and the flight and all that stuff, I think that could be a factor in this Dolphins game. And then I think the Eagles, depending on how the Eagles fare in the next couple weeks, could be another problem because they're still seeking revenge.
Yeah, but the Chiefs are literally going to have 15 days, before the Eagles game, so I think they'll be well rested and ready.
And sometimes too much rest is too much rest. So Q,
they all
we'll start
get a
with
bye
you
at the same time too. Ooh.
Yep. Q, we'll start with you.
Got to, man.
The Donkeys this Sunday.
Chiefs
in Denver.
2015.
Steve, 42 to what?
Score.
2015. Ooh, yeah. 21-27 Chiefs.
Really?
Yeah. They just make you play bad. Like,
all right.
It's very surprising to me
again,
if they come out and just.
The Broncos, they do score, but we do have.
And here's one thing that I don't like, and y'all can take it how you want, but the Chiefs come out and play well their first drive, and then they either get 3 points or no points. Y'all notice that?
Yes.
Every game you come out and you're like, oh man,
the struggle quarter.
Patrick is balling. Kelsey has 4 catches. I mean, you go 80 yards down the field and you end up with nothing or 3 points.
Yeah,
I hate that,
they're
man.
struggling
That's
in the red zone this season. That's really weird. All right.
I think it's going to be a say 21-10 Chiefs.
I like that score.
21-10.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be ugly, like Steve said, but Chiefs will just do enough to get out.
All right, folks. We got a week before we head to Ray South to play in Denver or whatever.
Why you got to land on Ray South? Why couldn't you land on Central?
Lisa Minoy.
Why you can't land on Central?
Because I'm too close to this team.
Yo, let me cuss on here, man.
What's the difference between last week and this week?
It's a family show, Darren. We got Swifties watching.
I don't care. People from Central slap the shit out.
Now that almost made me cuss. That is going to do it for us this week. We'll be back next week talking about the Chiefs and the Broncos. And again, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so please go get checked, men and women both. And we hope that you have a great week. Be peaceful. Love somebody. Smile at your neighbor. Drive by Central High School. Smile at the football team.
Go get checked up.
And we'll be back here at Chicken and Pickle next week talking Chiefs Broncos. Y'all be well. It's the Red Hour.
The views and opinions expressed of the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundation, or affiliates.